So we got Dr. Fitness in the house.
Now, when I see a legend, it reminds me of my old good friend, Jacqueline. I worked with Jacqueline for 2 years. And I'll never forget, I was like 24. And I had that Arnold once a nigger body. And
Yes.
Jacqueline walks by at this health convention in Vegas. And he says, it's a bunch of big guys around. I said, where? Let me find these big guys at. I said, you the bigger guy of all of us. He says, I'm not the bigger guy. I'm just the little bitty bite of a chihuahua. Man, he moved. The next day he was there to swim that channel, and he moved that boat with like everybody on that boat with it. I said, I can't move a boat that's like 11. He moved the boat with his teeth. We were swimming, people sitting in the boat. He was like 75 years old. He did that. I'm like, unbelievable power. I said, so it ain't about the size, man. It's about the will and determining the way you do it in the weight. You know, the way
That
you
just goes to show you that the human mind, once it's trained properly through education and knowing the body of the human structure, how it can the body can do what the body can do.
Oh yeah.
Through the will of the mind.
Mm-hmm.
Because how can a woman whose child is trapped over underneath a vehicle, come up with the strength to lift this car up high enough to get her child underneath it?
Yeah.
Without any training, stuff like that. So it's remarkable what the human body can do if it's educated properly and all that. And I met Dr. Fitness through, and I'm giving him a plug, LinkedIn. I was just scrolling through, connecting with people, and his profile just jumped out at me because of what he said. So I figured with the media that I am involved with, I said, let me reach out to this gentleman because we may be able to do some things together.
Oh, yeah.
And he responded. And we've been playing phone tag off and on through our initial meeting, and I like the fact that he was persistent and letting me know that he has something that is worthwhile saying and letting other people know, including myself.
Yeah, I'm looking at my head. He said body. He designed the body. I love that. He said designed the body to be a sculpture of the muscle, and that's not been done that much no more.
So, what is body design formula?
Tell me all about it.
Well, body design formula is a system that I create customized to the individual person that takes in their mindset, their environment, and their educational factor of what it is that inherently is their potential. So the simple way to express it is when somebody comes to see me, they're actually coming to a professional office. So I can spend a couple of hours with them, and it's like a very in-depth interview where not only will they get some samples of the possibility of what can happen to a person or what can actually possibly happen to their body. In other words, we take the photos, so just like a chiropractor will study x-rays and things like that, I need to look at where their body is at and what the possibility is. But the fact is that when somebody comes to see me, there could be 80% more from where they're standing.
Gotcha.
So when I develop a program, it takes about 22 hours of intellectual work to come up with the answer to that person's body.
Wow.
Well, every exercise is attached to a motion or an outcome or a possibility. And when you combine it, just like you do chemicals, it has a tremendous impact and transformation. So the system is set up so that once I create this blueprint or the script, I'm going to give it to either my wife, Batista, who is the highest level teacher in the world. She's a 7th degree body design level teacher. She's a former professional dancer. She has 5 degrees of spirituality. and she came in as a student, and over 9 to 12 hours, it's separated into 3 sessions or 4 sessions, we're going to teach the person how to use this program independent of a personal trainer. So we work with people all over the world, and what happens is we have a specified gym that we would meet at, or I have a subcontractor that will handle teaching the script, and we're going to teach the person how to use the program, like I said, independent of a personal trainer. So how would that look like? First of all, I've got 22 hours invested, plus I do research of where they live, where they're going, how they are. But the educational part is I also study their environment, because most people go into the wrong shoe store. Okay, so they go, oh, it's fully equipped. Okay, well, what does that got to do with the price of tea in China? Okay, so I can tell by my research whether they're going to fall in love with working out or they're going to hate working out in essence, because we have a different system. We teach people never to do anything that feels uncomfortable. The energy comes from inside out. It's not based on performance. Okay. So there's two things that, a few things that come in when a person comes to see me. They either work out or they don't. And they're surprised that first of all, that they could be 80% more, and second of all, they're in the wrong environment, and if they're trying to lose weight, they're attacking the wrong end of the spectrum. Losing weight is a secondary condition. Strength training specifically that we're teaching is the real tool to get them successful, because one, it strengthens their nervous system.
Right, okay.
Well, because when I know for a fact that when a person comes in and they're overweight, they didn't get there because they're okay. They're definitely not okay. There's somebody in their life that's holding them back. They're under too much stress or responsibility. Their relationships aren't going really well. So one of the perks of the Body Design Formula is we increase a woman's strength 20 or 30% in 20 minutes, which controls brain function. We wake up new avenues of path to their brain. They become more creative. And women definitely need more red blood cells. They don't have as many as men, so they need more muscles. So what I'm saying is I'm dispelling the belief about heavy weights. Yes, heavy weights can strengthen you in the wrong part of your body or upset your balance, but Body Design puts it in strategic places. We have a system.
Amazing. Good.
So you're saying that in 20 minutes, you can increase a person's body, the strength, 20 to 50% in 20 minutes. And how would you do that?
Okay, so we're going to go back to what you brought up before, which is people say, how's that possible when the woman lifts the car off the child in an emergency situation? Well, I have that belief right from the beginning that women are really, really powerful, and they deserve to be Rambo without any consequences or creating an unsightly body, because the program is set up to strengthen out their postural alignment and to create an enhanced look. So what that would look like, that sounds almost impossible. Two types of scenarios. We have a woman that comes in and is 270 pounds. She doesn't live in L.A. She looks like the Hunchback of Notre Dame. Her husband's a medical doctor, an expert in nutrition. She's had a personal trainer for 15 years. So let's fast forward. When I read her story, you have to be a good fit for me to take you on as a student. You could cry, because I read the terrible pain that they go through from where they might have been 140 and now they're 270 pounds.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they get an experience somewhere along the line that their trainer actually injured them. I don't think that their trainer injured them. I think that they made a very poor decision in the type of exercise they gave the person. So where I'm going with that is, let's say the person is unfamiliar with the gym, so she feels unsuccessful. When I look at the gym, I explain to her that I wouldn't even be comfortable in an ill-equipped gym. So she comes to LA, and at this specific thing, we worked out a Gold's Gym in Venice, which is a treat for people to experience the real deal.
Shout out to Gold's Gym.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Sure, go, Jim.
How can you explain in 5 days' time she's leg pressing 575 pounds?
Exactly.
Right. Well, in a lot of cases, there is, growing up, a person that was, like you said, 140, and all of a sudden they gain, and they in the 200 level now, and there's still that person is still in there. That 140 pound person is still there. They just have to, get rid of that extra weight.
Well, it's a different situation when their hormones change than you would with personal training. Personal training creates exercises that's built on a system to make money. They come in 2 or 3 times a week, and they work out, and there's a lot of like stretching and warm-ups beforehand. It could be cross-training. Well, the object of that is because they're sweating and groaning, and they think they couldn't do it by themselves.
And
Well, that's a
personal trainers-
fact.
Yeah, personal trainer screaming and hollering like little
Yeah, that has
boot
nothing
camp
to-
instructor.
Yeah, they
All
have to
that
have
stuff,
they
yeah.
have to have a program or the right pair of shoes, so it's sustainable because they're
Sure.
going to have to work on their body for the next 2 or 3 years to make those changes. So it's got to be part of their lifestyle, and it's
Yeah.
got to be something that they look forward to doing.
But you,
Right. So
go
cut
ahead.
you off. So that leaves my next question. What's the difference between you and a personal trainer?
Yeah, what's the difference?
Well, I thought I explained that. A personal
Oh, excuse
trainer.
me.
Well, okay, sure. I'll explain. I get this question all the time. The personal training is based on you signing up to work out 2 or 3 times a week. Okay, so you go in in for an hour, and part of it is stretching. Part of it sometimes is aerobic. They're warming up the muscles. They now diluted your training by about 20 minutes. So the real truth is that you're only getting 40 minutes, maybe 40 minutes of actually specified strength training, and usually those exercises have nothing to do with your bodies. An example would be you go into, it could be an LA Fitness, and they're pretty well equipped these days. I like their gym. They offer people a lot. But their forte is sales. So a person goes into the gym, and they don't realize that some of these equipment are built for football players, okay? So they're built to be indestructible. They're built to move people uncomfortably from one exercise to another. So you got to know how to work the good equipment in the gym, because I'm an ergonomic expert, and I record or I create all the prescriptions for most of the gyms ahead of time.
Okay.
All
Cool.
right.
So a trainer is not going to take the risk, or they don't even know that they can that women need to, or even men need to lift a certain amount of weight to have a cause and effect. The weights they're lifting are insignificant to cause any change in the muscle.
True.
Right.
What they're subject to is, if you see in the gym, that's like what they call walking lunges. So in humor, picture this. If you were in a supermarket and you took a jug of water in one hand and another jug in the other one and started doing these, what they call walking lunges, I think they'd arrest you. So why would you do that in a gym? Most of the training that goes on in the gyms is very brutal for women. It has nothing to do with older men. They need actually a blueprint, and they need to be educated on how to work their body efficiently.
Okay. Well, my next question is, all right, I'm going to use myself as an example. All right, I'm 220. I want to go down to 200. Most of my weight, because my nephew kids me, he said, "Unc, you're not fat. You just got a stomach. All your
Yeah.
weight's in your stomach."
Me too. I got
So,
I got
we just met. So, what advice
Collard
would you
greens.
give me? Because I do eat properly as much as possible. What would you tell me?
Is there a doctor in the house? Yes, there's
Dr. Dre
Dr.
right here,
Fitness
Dr. Dre.
USA. Well, you walked into that one because
Yes.
it's obvious to me that you have no education about your body. You've never experienced what it's like to really have a fulfillment of what it's like to use the facilities in a proper gym. You just, it's not your fault. Now, you might have worked out as a guy, but your body is totally underdeveloped. Nothing is developed. So you have no relationship to a gym. It doesn't even make sense to you. Intuitively, I know that.
Well, see, I do go, and you mentioned every gym but the one I go to, and that's 24 hours.
Don't go.
Oh, well, wait a
Never
second.
go.
I go to 24 hour. I am a member of 24
Okay,
hours.
well, Ferret with 24 hours actually has older equipment, and if I can get a virtual camera, there are some good pieces of equipment in there that can change your whole life. But you need to know how to do it. I have an ergonomic system. I have a Hersey pad that puts your vertebrae in the correct alignment so that you can lift heavier weight. There's a lot of things going on. So the question I would ask you is, do you go into a gym and do a leg press?
No, because also I suffer from certain injuries. I have a herniated disc in my lower back. I have bursitis in my shoulder. So even doing setups right now is painful. So I was told to do a lot of exercise that strengthens the muscles around those areas.
Give me one example.
As far as what, I do a lot of cardio.
Okay, stop.
Okay, go ahead.
So the person comes in, they stretch, they do cardio, they warm up, they do all these exercises. I say to the guy, so you just ruined your workout. One, you start stretching, you set yourself up for injury. Second of all, you don't do any cardio before you do your program. When you have a proper selection of exercise, there's an ergonomic support that sends different signals to your brain that tell you you're safe. When you warm up with the weights, your body can process it. So everything you're doing has nothing to do with changing the concept of where you could be, and it's actually aggravating the pain in your body. I get people from all over the world that's been to chiropractors, acupuncturists, all those. They're wonderful people, but they don't have the missing tool or the answer to get rid of the pain permanently. So when you come to see me, I would approach your body totally different, where in 20 minutes that pain would be gone.
Yeah, because I also I have to go to a physical therapist, and he shows me certain exercises that he wants me to do that supposed to strengthen my back area, my shoulder
The core,
area.
right?
Yeah, the core stuff.
Watch this. There's this will be very controversial, but all that stuff, unless it's being paid by Medicare, is a waste of time. You have no idea how great you can be in 20 minutes by increasing your strength 20 or 30%. An example would be what's very typical is somebody comes into a gym and they do what they call a horizontal leg press. It means they sit on a machine and they're pressing out with their legs.
Okay.
You know, and they put the pin in the weight.
Yeah.
What they don't know is that's a selectorized piece of equipment. That's an auxiliary exercise. They're going into the machine cold. So let's say they're doing 90 pounds, right?
Okay.
They're supposed to be at 160. How do they get there? Because they don't have the first exercise that gives them the capital to run their body. They're going into all these exercises that you see, they're going into their body cold, so their mind is processing, because it's difficult, this must be what I'm doing. But actually there's exercise you can do, like when you run a business, you have enough money, you hire the best cooks, you hire the best service, and when you go in, you have a great experience. But people aren't getting that. They're getting a sales pitch.
Right.
So what happens is, so when we go back to the woman that's 270 pounds, how do you explain that she could go back to San Francisco? She joins two different gyms because she understands that the first gym has the leg press that's comfortable to her body. She takes 5 minutes, goes for a walk, and then she continues her exercise where she's comfortable, but she's in control. So let's say we increased her strength 550 pounds on the leg press, and I show it on camera. What's important about that is because it's sending enough energy to her upper body so that when she does back exercises, she can really make a change. So if she's doing a lat pull down, if she's in Los Angeles, she has to go back to San Francisco and start off at 110 pounds. If she's with a trainer, she's going to be at 50 to 60 pounds, which is wasting her time. So what's amazing is when we finish with the person, they will be doing 110, 120 pounds by themselves, by the way.
Okay.
Wow, okay.
My next question is, like, at these gyms, no matter where they at, these exercise classes that they have, where there's, what's your opinion on those?
Richard Simmons.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because, exercise, what's happening is the gyms are getting better. They're great at sales, so the classes are really full. And they offer a lot of variety. But what they don't understand is that there's $500,000 worth of equipment that they could be using to sculpt their body. But they're not. They're in these exercise classes. So the other ones, there are some exceptions where they actually go into the gym and they work out, okay? But they don't have a plan of action. So they're not getting the true benefit of what's really in there. So here's something that's enlightening is women generally will go into the gym and they find that weight training is really cool. It's an extension of what they're already doing, or it can make them stronger towards their other activities. But they're taking their aerobic education into the gym and doing lots of reps. Weight training done specifically by the Body Design Program is a total different category. It's in a class by himself. The other ones are in dance movement of awareness, all those type of things. But strength training is a very specific class, and that's their tool to help them to go to the next level in their life and their relationships, etc. In fact, I was a guest speaker for Sovereign Health to a group of men therapists, like real therapists. They asked me to be the guest speaker, and I really laid into them because the therapists don't take care of themselves. They're preaching to the choir. So if somebody has stress or an addiction, they need a tool to work with when they're outside of their sessions. And strength training, when you elevate your strength 20 or 30%, helps you to control your emotions so that you make better decisions.
Okay. So what does a person need to become successful?
Well, they need to look.
Besides, come to you.
Well, yeah. Well, that's the key to the whole program is to look up my name, or to go to drfitnessusa.com, to call me. I can say 424-245-6560 and get educated. Start to open yourself up and to think in a better direction of how you're looking at your body and how you could be successful. Like my guest here, who's actually the professional bodyguard.
Yes.
If he came to see me, I would be able to say he needs a restoration project.
Okay.
So he would say, what's the matter with you? You want me to knock your block off? I'm a professional. No. He's got 70, 80 pounds too much body on his body, which is can have which could be a cause for a heart attack. When you're overweight, there's 15 diseases that set into your body. So it's not just the extra weight that they have on their body. It's the way they affect their health. But the chief thing is it affects the way their relationships run, or the people in their life. People will say you're a great person, we love you, but behind their back they'll say, why are you fat and out of shape? Isn't that amazing? And in relationships, there's one last thing in relationships, if I may, is you have a male and a woman, they show up. You ever see this in the gym? They're both trying to do the same exercise program.
Yeah, all the time.
I ask him, why do you want to do an exercise program? You both look terrible, both of you, and you're like 70 years old. She's like 60. She has no relationship at the gym. They're lost. They're in the how do you say that? They don't understand that they need to look at their body individually, and they both need a different set of exercises to accomplish the positive goal. So what would that look like? Men know that when women work out in the gym, that their woman is beautifully changing. Some type of shape or contour is happening. It's different than looking at women that they're doing aerobics. And when men look at women and they're taking responsibility to take care of themselves, they fall more in love. But more often than not, because men were born to to teach, preach, control, and to find a better deal, will often say to the woman, you're okay the way you are, honey. Next year we can't afford it. All those type of things. But the joy of having your wife involved or being stronger, they'll wind up taking better care of you because women set the standards in life. So Batista, who's sitting beside me, she's been to the gym 1,060 times, and I put her before my business, before anything. I drop her off at the gym. Why? Because she, her image is linked to her self-esteem. She's taking care of herself, and she feels good about herself, and she takes better care of me. In fact, her strength gets me to do better. And what I mean by do better, men, we have a feminine side. You don't have to teach us to be in touch with our feelings. We love being in our feelings, and if we have a strong woman, we're
Exactly.
gonna find a way to get you to do all the work.
Well, okay. Well, thank you for coming in,
Yeah, man, that's
Dr.
a pleasure.
Fitness. You've been
Yes.
you've been a very inspirational guest. And one more time, let everybody know how to get in contact with you and be part of your program.
It's the short version, Dr. Fitness, FITNESS, USA.com. And the phone number is 424-245-6560. It's important. I get many, many telephone calls from all over the world. It's important to leave a clear message. And where you heard if you heard this program, to let me know that's where the reference came from.
Okay, thank you for coming in,
Thank
and,
you, and thank you.
hang around and
Yeah.
let's hear something from your wife there. You
Yeah,
know,
Batista.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, hi. Shocked. Okay. Well, yes, I met Dr. Fitness USA 6 years ago when I felt that my body was in trouble.
Yeah.
I was a professional entertainment flamenco dancer my whole life.
Right.
And I suffered from a lot of injuries. So when you spoke about your injuries, I relate
Yeah.
because I had a lot of injuries caused by dancing my whole life. And I was very, very afraid of lifting weight because being a dancer, I didn't want to get bulky. And I didn't want to, my injuries to get worse, but he was kind of the last house on the block for me.
Okay.
Because I had done everything before, like all the acupuncture and chiropractors and, every modality to help myself, but also I've done every type of exercise also to keep myself in shape. And so I had to have a jump of faith. And I have to say that within a couple of months of being on his program, all my injuries disappeared. And I got my life back, my body back. And now I teach the program, and I can say that I see the miracle happen 100% of the time with
Right.
every single client that comes in. It's 100%.
All right. Well, thank you for coming in and all that, and stick around. All right, you don't go nowhere.
I wanted to mention that the Batista is the author of Extreme Muscular Makeover, How to Lose Weight and Look Good with Strength Training, and those books are on Amazon. So if you want to be more educated, you may go there and purchase them.
All right.
No problem. We'll be right back. This is Veterans Day Live,
And I'm Big Dre.
and this is Veneric Marshall.
We'll come back with a treat for y'all.
Yes, a celebrity chef.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? When I ask her why she didn't bring no food,
Oh, she didn't leave you till the last minute. No.
we'll be right back.